For a while, I've talked about something that I feel a lot of people overlook, and it's the importance of stuntmen. Their work is some of the most important in all of movies in general, and I always have such a deep appreciation for the art, especially growing up on things like Jackie Chan movies. I've always paid very close attention to stunt work. And today I saw a video on Twitter that really just inspired me, tickled my Elmo, and made me want to just talk about this because this stunt guy is a goddamn hero, and he may very well be immortal.
Three, two, one, action!
When I first watched this, I thought they just tossed a doll down the stairs like a dummy in order to make it look like someone got thrown down the stairs. Until the very end, I realized, holy shit, that's a living, breathing human being there that just got thrown down the escalator. The dude got fucking potato sacked, thrown out like a trash bag, a slinky going down the escalator here. So then I watched it back and I was like, okay, maybe he's in like some kind of full body suit of medieval armor to help with the impact here. Kind of like that guy who built the anti-grizzly bear suit, and he used to like get hit by trucks and shit to prove how strong it was. But then I realized he's not doing that either. He does have some kind of like padding on himself, but it's kind of light. He looks like one of Shredder's ninjas from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So while there is padding there, it's not like he's in some kind of juggernaut bomb defusal squad uniform here. It's pretty light. And it seems to be a real escalator. I don't know what you can really do to modify an escalator to make falling like that hurt less. Even if each one of those steps was a memory foam pillow, it would still hurt quite a bit because that's a long fall, and he does a few tumbles there. He like lands on the back of his neck on like that second one there. So, it seems like a pretty risky stunt, but I have no doubt this guy probably did this with a fucking smile on his face because stuntmen are actual warriors. They're fucking champions out there. I also wonder how many takes they've done of this. Like, this is probably like take number 12. It's like, hey, the first 11 were okay, but you weren't flailing around enough, and we really want like almost a neck-breaking action when you're falling, so we're gonna do this again until we can get that effect. Like they probably did this multiple times of him just getting fucking tomato canned down this escalator. It honestly kind of reminds me of that iCarly scene where Gibby falls from like the roof onto just bare concrete. We had Noah Monk on the podcast who played Gibby in that show, and he said that that was done for real. A stuntman actually just fucking like belly flopped onto concrete and broke like all of his ribs. So when you see that impact of Gibby bouncing off the cement, that's a real person that happened to, and his ribs paid the ultimate fucking price for it. And I have no doubt this is probably just as real, but somehow this guy seems like okay. Gibby had to be taken off on a stretcher after that. The stuntman, he had to be like goddamn taken out there, like nearly had to call in the chopper rescue unit to airlift him out. Meanwhile, this guy probably just walked it off. Rubbed some dirt in it. Like, it's crazy. Stuntmen are actually super, super impressive. And I really hope they're being paid well for John Wick 4 here. This got me even more excited for John Wick than I already was seeing a stunt like this. They didn't take some kind of easy way out with like CGI or using some kind of like animatronic or doll or something. They actually just had an absolute madman do this stunt for real. And that is super fucking cool. Anyway, this wasn't the only thing I saw on Twitter that was inspirational. I saw something that was honestly a tear-jerking moment that I kind of just want to share with all of you. This is like a little bonus that I'd like to dive into. Recently, Hasbulla has been on this absolute blow up. He's really popping off. Most people know who that is by now. He's got a very strong social media presence, and people love him. And from everything I've seen, Hasbulla seems like a really nice, likable guy. And he recently went on Mike Tyson's podcast, Mike Tyson's show, and things got real interesting real quick. Like, even just the way he's talking to him. Oh, Jesus Christ. He like blows a raspberry on him. Like, he had no idea that was a man. Honestly, it's just kind of like a wholesome thing. Like, I don't think Hasbulla was offended or anything. I don't think Mike Tyson was upset that he he snuggled Hasbulla. Like, I, I think it's just not a big deal. It's just something silly and fun. Now, to be fair, Mike Tyson could do this same thing to me. He'd be like, hey, Charles, throw some punches at me real quick. We'll toy around a little bit. I'd be like, all right, you got it, Mr. Tyson. So I'm throwing these wet noodles at him, and then he just picks me up and starts cradling me and rock me back and forth until I start to get drowsy, and maybe he starts, like, biting at my ear a little bit. Unsurprisingly, there were some people on Twitter that were very upset about this, and I mean, that's par for the course. You could post the cutest picture of your dog ever and you'll somehow outrage 1,000 people on Twitter. That's not surprising. But I do want to at least mention that I feel like in this case, this was just one of those moments where Mike Tyson made a bit of a blunder here, a boo-boo. It just feels like a truly victimless, harmless, wacky moment. Mike Tyson probably just wasn't too knowledgeable on who Hasbulla was before he was booked for the show, but it is just it is super goofy that he picks him up and then starts like nuzzling him, and then he immediately starts chomping and biting at the ear of Hasbulla, which I think is like self-aware from Mike Tyson here. I don't think that he's just naturally drawn to like biting people's ears off or anything like that. I think that was just supposed to be like a joke, and who knows, this might have even been like a scripted, planned thing, and I've fallen hook, line, and sinker for the bait. Regardless, though, I think it is still just kind of a goofy, fun moment, I suppose, that I thought was worth at least mentioning. That's really about it. So, yeah.